I'm back home in Staten Island, and my room is a wreck. I don't know about you. I know even in my college days, I remember coming home and my room was like a warehouse. Like no matter if I leave my house for more than a week, there's a bunch of there's tennis rackets in here. I got leather jackets, pillows. What else I had in here? Man, it's just a whole bunch of. I got a weighted vest. like stuff just be showing up in my room. So every time I come home, I have to kind of throw stuff out and take stuff in. So you can imagine that this is gonna be a 2 day fiasco.
You kept on calling her phone. No wonder she never called back. You saw the message.
So it's a whole 2 days later, and I finally got my room done. Actually, not really. I still gotta finish my library in the back. So in about another 24 hours, that should be complete. However, I'm just so excited, man. I'm so excited to be back home, to have my schedule back, to have an opportunity to kind of go about life the way I wanted to. And I just wanted to quickly make this video and just reiterate to you guys that there's a time and place for everything, okay? People who say that you should never have a job and you should always live life on your own terms, and people who say just go for the pension. Either extreme is not necessarily true. If you want to just go out and start your business, you're gonna inevitably have some failures, right? You know, whether it's managing people or your product or, you know, market to message match maybe off a little bit. When you start a business, it's very hard to start off like Mark Zuckerberg, okay? Rarely does that ever happen. Now, on the flip side, if you want to go about the average Joe and just, you know, work full time, survive, feed your family, that's okay too, but you might run the risk of never living your dreams. Now, I am always someone who's been a believer in taking a balanced approach to everything, right? Whether it's having a girlfriend, right? Instead of always being aggressive, sometimes you need to be sweet, right? Or in the, you know, my case, when I was in high school, you know, sometimes I was a terror, but if I was sweet to the teacher, you know, she'll look past it sometimes. And it's the same thing in life. I feel like there's a time and place where you need to learn from other people and you need to have jobs, and there's another time where you need to leave your job and go about doing whatever it is that you want to do, right? So for the past 18 months or so, I've been working under somebody. I remember in this very same room, I used to watch all his programs and all day, all night, skip hangouts with my friends and hang up on my girlfriend and just watch his programs, just binge, because he was teaching me something that I so desperately wanted to know, right? I wasn't getting in school. My parents definitely didn't know because they're, you know, were individuals who worked their whole life. And that's not the life I wanted for myself, right? So over the past 18 months, I had an opportunity to work for him. Now, there were good, you know, pros and cons that came with that. Pros were I got to be in his atmosphere, in his environment, and really be with him. I mean, there was a stretch for about 6 months I was with him every single day. I went to London with him, Norway with him, Palm Springs, San Diego, San Francisco, Virginia, New York. I went everywhere with him. You know, wherever Ty was, there was Andrew. And it was, up until this point, one of the most remarkable experiences I've ever had, to go from someone who used to watch him to be with him to actually providing him value. And that's the least I could do to somebody who I consider, you know, somewhat of a hero, something, and definitely a mentor. But there's also cons, you know. I couldn't work out as much as I wanted to. I mean, I was working 18-hour days. You know, sleeping on planes, getting up, going to work. And I couldn't pursue my own passion. And the reason why I like Ty so much is because in some weird way, shape, or form, the people that you idolize, there's a small percentage that you want to be like them. I mean, high percentage, right? If I play basketball and I admire and idolize LeBron James, it's because I want to be like LeBron James. And it was the same thing for me and Ty. I idolized him and I looked up to him and I spent thousands of dollars on his programs because he lived a life and had success in business the same way I aspired to have. However, when you're learning from people like that, you can't necessarily do that because you're learning, right? So, although I learned a lot and was able to reciprocate value back to him, I couldn't necessarily execute on the things I was learning or pursue my bigger dream, which is to become an entrepreneur, right? So I ate, quote unquote shit for the past 18 months to learn what I need to learn in order to then pursue my dream, right? Now, let's say I didn't go out to LA and work from, I probably would be doing what I am doing now, except experiencing a lot more mistakes, because what I will tell you is that going forward, I will avoid a lot of mistakes that other 22-year-olds who are going to embark on what I'm doing will face, because I learned from somebody. Now, the trick is to have a balanced approach, as I spoke to earlier, knowing when is the right time to leave, knowing who you should follow, who you should learn from, knowing when to leave so you can execute it. And that's where I'm at, right? So 18 months is over. I'm back home, and it's time for me to execute everything I've learned. Because there's some people, and again, I don't really care, but there's some people looking at me from the outside and saying, you had it so good, why would you leave, right? You're getting on jets, you're getting on helicopters, you're going to Game 7, sitting courtside, getting paid good money, why would you leave? Right? So unless I execute, I can never prove that I made the right decision. Right? So there's a lot of you out there who are scared, right? Maybe you are in a good position right now where your parents are proud, you're paying bills, got a car, got a house, rent, what have you. And for you to leave will be quote unquote responsible to the masses, to society, to your parents, to your friends, whoever. But I think you should use that as fuel and let that guide you to a place where you can say, hey, I will prove to you I made the right decision. All right? Because what I've realized is that a lot of people are scared to do what they feel is right because there's somebody in their life who they don't want to embarrass. So if that's you, what I would say is have a talk with that person. Or if you're not on speaking terms, which I am with some people that I'm embarrassed or I don't want to let down, right? So, for example, I have a girlfriend I was with for 4 years, and part of the reason why we broke up was because I went to Galley. Because I wanted to learn from my mentor. And that's not the whole reason. I don't want to make it seem like she was stopping me from my dreams, because we had a lot of things going on before that happened, of course. But that was the last straw. Now that I'm back and I have to kind of take on this entrepreneurial thing all by myself, I don't want her to really know about my success and failures, because the past 18 years I've been doing nothing but like posting all these pictures on my Instagram, how well I'm doing. Now I'm leaving, I don't know how well I'm gonna do. I start, going around on Monday, Tuesday, selling my services to clients, and it might take me a couple months, a year, days. I don't know how long it's gonna take. So how I battled it is obviously, we're not on any social media, but her family is people that I've been close with, and I deleted them because I don't want them to see the process. Not because I don't love them or whatever. It's just because I'm aware that there are people who I'm afraid to let down, and either you talk to them or you delete them, because I feel like it's your responsibility to do what's in your heart. So, to bring it back around, I am extremely excited. I'm going to be doing a lot more talks with, look, I have it on a tripod, standing up. I'm going to do a lot more talks. I'm going to share with you my journey. I'm going to share with you my ups, my downs, my strategies, courses I'm taking. I mean, I have a lot to wrap my head around. I'm kind of overwhelmed in a little bit because there's so much I know that goes into creating a marketing or consulting agency that I am trying to figure out a way where I don't have to do it all myself, right? Because there's obviously website design, website management, there's copywriting, there's funnels, there's all type of, paid, PPC. There's a lot of things that you have to kind of know in order to execute this. And I want to know it, but at the same time, I know that I can't know it all, be the best at it, because it's not enough hours in the day, right? So there's also HR and hiring that you need to get good people in. So there's a lot of stuff that I have to kind of brush up on, and I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Day like -2 because I start in like 3-4 days. So that's what I'm figuring out now. I have my computer open. I'm taking some courses. I'm actually, before I worked with Ty, my last boss, I had one job before him. When I dropped out, I had one job, then moved to LA, and it was actually for a marketing agency. So I'm doing some work with him. It's free, right? It's spec work, and I'm kind of using it as an opportunity to practice my skills. That way, when I do go to dentists and doctors and chiropractors and plumbers, that I kind of am confident in myself, because half of sales is being confident that you could actually perform the service, right? You have to, people feel your energy when you're selling. And that's all selling is. Sales is a transfer of energy, right? So if I'm confident because I executed spec work the right way, now when I'm charging $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, I'm confident that I can provide, results for them because I did it for free. So those of you out there, don't be exposed to spec work. Sometimes you need, like I said, there's a balanced approach to everything. Sometimes you need to do free work, but not all the time, because then you'll never have money. And sometimes you don't want to always charge, because then, word gets out that you're charging X amount of dollars, but you're not providing any results. So there's always a balanced approach to life. And that's the point of this video. I just want to, guys, let you know, for the beginning half of this video, for those of you who are in a position where you want to make the leap like I did, I encourage you to recognize where you are. If you don't know anything about what you want to do, or you have just a general direction where you want to go, find a mentor like I did in that space, learn for a year to 18 months, then execute, right? And if you're at a point where you are learning, but you just don't know how to leave your job, then talk to the people who you're scared to let down, because 9 times out of 10, that's the only reason why you're not leaving, because you're embarrassed or you're scared to let people down, right? Chances are you're not going to be homeless or hungry. There's a higher chance of you disappointing somebody. So talk to those people, or just completely delete them so they can't see your failures. And for the second half of the video, for those of you who are where I'm at, don't be scared to take on spec work. Use that as a platform to get testimonials so you can charge more money in the long term. It's a long-term game. So don't be scared to kind of come out the fences like I'm not necessarily swinging, trying to get 10K for every single client. Come out the gate trying to hone your skills so 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road you can get 10K per client, right? So that's why I'm going to title this video The Balanced Approach. And I hope that you guys have some insight from this video, and I hope that this helps. So leave your questions below. Let me know where you guys are from, what's your ambitions in life, what are some things you want to do, where you at in the stage of taking the jump, what's preventing you. Let me know. I'm going to do a lot. I have like 3 cameras now, so I'm going to have a camera with me when I'm going around getting clients. I'm going to have a camera here just to do some insight with my library in the back. So I am really, and again, I know I've said even a couple months ago that I was going to put out more content, and I just couldn't. I was more focused on learning than it was for creating my brand, because I'm 22 and I have the rest of my life to kind of create a brand for myself, but I know I wouldn't always have the opportunity to learn like I did. So there's a time and place for everything. Now, though, I have no choice but to kind of give you guys content because I'm home now. So definitely leave some comments below and let me know. I'm here to help. I am going to be like Robin Hood, right? Not necessarily, but I'm on the. My job of this channel is to kind of be the neighborhood hero, to kind of share my journey, answer questions, and just give you all the value that I can. Because I don't necessarily need any of you guys' money. I'm going to be getting it from other businesses, so I can afford to kind of give you this raw stuff for free when others are charging. So not that there's anything wrong with charging. I believe if you're providing value, you should get paid for it. However, I want to kind of just share my journey for now, and I'll worry all about that stuff later. So leave some stuff below, and I'll see you later.